Finally, Chelsea have won a game. Welcome to another post-match reaction, guys. Do hit the like button, subscribe button, and please support the channel. It means a lot as well. And what a win! I'm very happy today. Finally, we had the pleasure of enjoying a win after a long time. But it's not even that. Mudryk was signed. Kai got a much-needed goal. Defensively, we have found a new player, a player that has been signed, and he's an absolutely wonderful defender with more improvements needed. Thiago Silva was fantastic. Clean sheet has been achieved, and that is a massive positive, guys. So do hit the like button, do hit the subscribe button, and please support the channel. And this is going to be a very good video on the discussion of a massive victory against Crystal Palace. Right now, people will say why we are bigging up this Crystal Palace win, but that was an important victory. We're looking what's ahead for us as well, and it's an important victory to take the pressure of Graham Potter, take the pressure of fans, toxicity away, and we get a needed victory. We build the momentum, and then we go towards Anfield next week with the signing of Mudryk. And you never know, one more signing can be coming on the door. So, coming on to the first part today and talking on Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz needed it very badly. He has not been in a good form. He has been in scrutiny. I've been critical of him as well, but you know how much I love him as well. I do know this guy has a lot of talent, but he has not played as per his potential. And today he needed that. He missed a very good chance earlier that should have been finished. So I still think, for me, guys, he's not a striker. He's not your number 9. He should be either behind the striker or he should not be in the team. But overall, I'm very happy for Kai. He needed that goal. Very happy for him. And I think he needed it very badly. Now let's see what he does at Anfield. And he needs to build on this. Otherwise, all this build momentum can go away. So well done to Kai. And that was very needed, everyone. Coming on to the next one, the manager and Graham Potter needed victory. And Crystal Palace, he has beaten them both times this season. And that was a very needed win for the Gaffer. The Gaffer has been in a lot of criticism from the fans, which is understandable. I still trust the Gaffer a lot, but I do know that he still needs time. And the results have been absolutely atrocious. And today, the manager needed a victory. Not beating Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge after 3 losses in a row would have been an absolutely catastrophe. It would have gone toxic. It would have been bad. The new signing would already have come under pressure, and that would have been very tough. So well done to Graham today. He got, for me, mostly spot on with the injuries we had. Playing Gallagher was a master stroke. Conor Gallagher had a good game. Giving Badiashile the debut and throwing Koulibaly out of the team was well done by Graham Potter as well. So well done, Graham. Good team selections. And today, Graham Potter gets a much needed relief. And that was an important part for a win today. And getting a clean sheet, keeping a clean sheet against Arsenal, that is a very important part as well, people. So now, coming on to the next part, and that is Mudryk sign. Who would have thought how quickly things happen? Mudryk has signed for Chelsea Football Club. What a player this man is. For me, people will say I'm hyping him up. I'm not hyping him up. I know he's a young player. He needs time. And I know we have really overpaid the money. But see, the transfer market is transfer market. You have to overpay in today's world. A lot of players are very expensive today. Midfielders you will get in 10 years back for 20 million will cost 100 million. That's the way the time is. But overall, this guy is really explosive. The thing we have needed. Our attack has needed pace for a very long time. Our attack has needed power for a very long time. Our attack has needed some aggression for a very long time. And this young guy brings that. He brings a bit of that passion into the team. He brings a bit of that pace into the team. He brings a bit of that dribbling into the team. He brings a bit of that scare factor in the team that Chelsea have not had for a very long time. So very happy with the Mudryk signing. And today was announced to the fans, which confirms, and it just only shows how quick the new ownership are. You can criticize them. You can say whatever you want. But these guys are very quick when they want a player. And I hope this works. So good signing by the new ownership. And I think this guy can be really good for us. Might not be this season, but next season in the future, he's like on an 8-year contract as well. So big signing as well. And I'm very happy for Mudryk to be assigned as a Chelsea player now. Very happy. Coming on to Kepa Arrizabalaga, and still I have a lot of doubts on him in regards to being a Chelsea number 1 for the future. He's claiming on the crosses, which is a massive concern. For a keeper at Chelsea's level, you have to claim crosses. And not coming and claiming crosses is becoming a bit of attribute for Kepa as well. So bit disappointed for me on that regards with Kepa Arrizabalaga, and that are the things that goes in well. So that is very understandable as well. But overall, in terms of the save, he kept us in the game. There were so many times he was tested upon, And well done to Kepa Arrizabalaga. He did a good job. He made some good saves. And today I was happy with his shot stopping. This is what he needed for his confidence, not claiming crosses, and the two losses being a bit most on him. He was the one culpable for the Fulham second goal. He was the one culpable for the Manchester City goal. So there would have been a bit of fear of a lack of confidence. So that's good to see. He saved well today, but he still needs to do better on his claiming of crosses because that is a massive, massive concern. Coming on to Badiashile and Thiago Silva partnership. What a good partnership they were today. Under the mentorship of Thiago Silva, one of the best centre backs in the world. Badiashile really, really grown upon. Badiashile is a left-footed centre back. His passing is very, very crisp. And along with that, his physicality, how tall he is, that is the thing Chelsea have needed. When we signed Koulibaly, we thought Koulibaly was going to bring us all these factors. We thought Koulibaly was going to be one of the players that will bring a bit of physicality, that will bring a bit of tallness, that will bring a bit of passion into the team. But I think this guy has already surpassed any Koulibaly performance, and that was a good performance by Badiashile, and I hope he keeps embarking upon that and keeps on doing better. Coming on to the next one, that is around Ziyech. And Hakim Ziyech was absolutely awesome today. He was magnificent today, Hakim Ziyech. He was beautiful to watch Hakim Ziyech today. The way he had the ball, the way he put the crosses into the box, whipping crosses, really having the ball well, making some very good trickery as well. I was very, very impressed with Hakim Ziyech. He was wonderful today. That is the more of a Hakim Ziyech we needed to see for a long time. So very, very happy with the performance of Hakim Ziyech today. He was very, very good, and he deserves a bit of credit for that as well. People, for me, I know many people want Hakim Ziyech gone. He's not worked for Chelsea. I still think his pace in terms of Premier League is still not at his best. But on his best, what this guy can provide is very, very good. And today was more of a performance that if Chelsea had a proper number 9, that would have not even been needed. So very, very well done to Hakim Ziyech. He was beautiful today, and I have a lot of respect for him. Today he was magnificent. Coming on to the next one, Lewis Hall attackingly. And Lewis Hall attackingly was very, very good today for me. This is a young guy who is more of a midfielder. He's been put in the position of Cucurella because Cucurella has been absolutely disappointing for us. And Lewis Hall was very good today. The way he ran with the ball, the way he put crosses into the box, the way he overall gave his everything, the way he was threat for the Crystal Palace right side. I think Lewis Hall was fantastic today. This is a very, very good young touch we have got on our books. It's about nourishing him properly. He's still a midfielder, so we should not play him out of position. So very, very good to see the way Lewis Hall played. I'm very proud of his performance. A very, very talented guy, and he is only going to become better for us. Very, very good performance as a young guy. Attackingly, he's so good and a very, very top player. He's a young guy. I'm still not putting big pressure on him, but in the future, he could be very good for us. But I hope he's played in midfield. He's still not a left back, and overall, that is being playing him out of position, but he never looked out of it. So well done to Lewis Hall as well. Coming on to the next one, that is Mason, and I love Mason to bits. I love Mason Mount to absolute bits. Everybody knows this on the channel. I love Mason Mount. I still think he's a very, very good player, but Mason is not having some good performances from a long time now, and I think he needs a goal very, very badly or a very good game. Overall, in terms of the most players on the pitch, Mason was one of the disappointing passes to see today, and that is a bit of concern. I thought Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge, that is a match where Mason Mount will step up, and that could be the match where Mason Mount scores a brace or gets a goal or assist, and Mason can get the much needed confidence. But Mason was very disappointing today. He had a bit of bright spots, but overall, I still think Mason could have done better today, and he's still a much better footballer than we saw today. So, bit disappointed in Mason. I think there's a very, very good player in Mason, but he needs to do better overall. And this was my only disappointment with Mason today, that he could have done better for me, in my humble opinion today. I'm not doubting Mason. I think Mason is a fantastic player, but I think overall, I have a bit of this love for Mason, but I think Mason should be doing better. Coming on to next one and coming to the next slide, that is in regards to Jorginho. And I love Georgie. I love Jorginho to absolute bits. He's been a good player for us since he has been signed, and I have nothing but respect for him. But Jorginho has a DM for a club like Chelsea. Nah, man. Nah. Today also, a lot of times, Olise easily goes past them, and some bigger team, with much better attackers, would have punished us. I love Jorginho. I still think Jorginho has been good for us, but right now has a DM with no country to protect him and no back three to protect him. I think Jorginho struggles sometimes. He's easily bypassed by today. Olise in the last some moments in the game as well, easily bypassed Jorginho, and that is a massive, massive concern as well, because once your DM is easily bypassed by, that is an easy chance for a lot of teams to score. People remember in the first half, Olise hit a shot which Kepa Arrizabalaga saved, but DM should have been in a position to intercept that in terms of being with Olise and marking his runner. But Jorginho just doesn't have the pace, and this is why it becomes easy for attackers to run at the Chelsea defense. And if not for Badiashile or Silva today, I think we would have conceded at least 2 goals today, if not for those 2 players in Kepa today. Because overall, again, it was very easy to get past our midfield. And today, again, Jorginho overall has a natural DM, was disappointed today. You either need to have a back three or a player like N'Golo Kante there with him, or otherwise it's not going to work with Jorginho, and I love him to bits. But overall, for a club like Chelsea, where we want to proceed in the future, and we need a DM, and it was Crystal Palace. We're lucky, fully agreed, put in by, fully agreed, put in by. It was Crystal Palace, and Olise really toasted Jorginho today. And some other day we would have conceded a goal. I love Jorginho. I have a lot of respect for Jorginho, but Jorginho should be doing better, and he's not a DM. He's not a DM for a club like Chelsea. We cannot just keep playing back three formation for Jorginho. We just cannot keep playing N'Golo Kante to protect Jorginho. Sometimes you have to understand that a player has good attributes. Jorginho can do a very good job in a Serie A, even in a Manchester City team, but he's not made for Chelsea. Jorginho as a player is not made for Chelsea, and it's better we move on. We have a natural DM who is more tenacious, more aggressive, good with the ball, but like Rodri, he can defend. That is the only weakness of Jorginho, and I love him, but right now Jorginho is not good enough as a DM for a club like Chelsea. Now coming on to the player ratings today, and I think overall some players are going to have good ratings today, but some were disappointing. So people who are tuned in, please do hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and please participate in the chat as well for your player ratings and an opinion on the match. So coming on to Kepa Arrizabalaga, I think he deserves an 8. Yes, his crossing claiming was not good today, I do agree, but he made some very important saves today. Otherwise, we would at least have got a draw in this match. So he made some important saves today, and I think he deserves an 8 today. He was fine, he was good with the ball. The first time when Crystal Palace started attacking, that clearance for header, there was a good one by Kepa as well, and he made some good saves as well today. So he has to deserve 8 for me, and that was a fine performance for Kepa. But again, why Kepa? Why Kepa, bro? You do not claim crosses. That is becoming a massive weakness, and for a club like Chelsea at the higher level, that just cannot work. Coming on to Thiago Silva, and I think he had a good game in the second half. I think he deserves a 7. Silva, for me, as I've always said, is one of our better defenders, and today playing at the right side, which is not his favorite position, Trevor played very well. So I'm proud of Trevor. Trevor played very well today. Nothing but respect for him. And I think Trevor again put a fine display today, playing at the right back, which is not his natural position. I think Trevor played very well today. I have nothing but respect for this guy. He's still a player I rate very highly. And I think again, you won't hear Trevor Chilova's name, but he again performed well today. And he has to deserve his credit and flowers. And coming on to Badiashile, the new Chelsea signing for 35 million. And also somehow better, fully agreed, Pudin brother. What a signing this guy is. Finally, we are seeing signings made with scouting. Well is the one who got him, and it's looking like why got him. This guy is tall. This guy is formidable, and that was a very good centre-back performance by Badiashile today. He was tall, he was formidable, he was good with the ball, and his passing was crisp. And overall, he started a bit nervously today. There were some points where you could have said that earlier in the match where people can remember where Zaha had a clearance through Kepa. That is the only mistake I can remember of Badiashile, who is a young guy who is having his first match. But overall, he looked very assured with Thiago Silva. A very good display today. Crisp with the ball, very tall, very formidable. And finally, Chelsea have a centre-back that can win his aerial duels, that is good with the ball, that is left-footed, and very good display by the guy today. Fantastic display by Badiashile today. He was magnificent with Thiago Silva. And finally, Chelsea have a bit of formidable centre-back partnership with Thiago Silva. We all were expecting Koulibaly to be that, but Koulibaly has been nothing but disappointing. And Badiashile was a much-needed positive for Chelsea today. A very good display by Badiashile, and I'm very happy for Badiashile. He played very well today, Badiashile. And Arsenal have scored against Tottenham as well. So more misery for Conte as well, and we might just have a chance for top 5. Coming on to Thiago Silva, and this guy is aging. Saka goal. I think for me, I'm supporting Spurs because I don't want Arsenal to win the league in respectful terms. But overall, for me at the moment, brother, I don't even care. I just want to see Chelsea do well because we are very far behind the table. And Thiago Silva, this guy's aging like a fine wine. What a damn centre-back this guy is. What a damn centre-back, man. He's attackingly so good, hitting some good volleys. Defensively, he's awesome as well. Thiago Silva was again just fabulous today with the way he intercepted, his seniority, the way he guided Badiashile today. This guy is a true captain material and deserves some respect. Don't put anyone, Virgil van Dijk, anyone in this debate. This guy at this age is playing some magnificent football. Very happy for Thiago Silva. I love him to bits. He, for me, has to be one of the man of the match today. He was very good defensively. But Spurs losing points will help us. Thiago Silva player of the season, no doubt. Brother, but right now is not going to help us, to be honest, because Newcastle are 10 points above us. Manchester United are 10 points above us. City are 11 points above us. Right now, a lot of clubs are over us, brother. So at the moment, for me, we just need to get victories and then we'll see where we are. But I do agree with you and I understand your point, brother. And Thiago Silva, absolutely awesome. For me, one of the man of the match today. And I think he was fantastic today. This guy, along with Hakim Ziyech today, have to be the joint man of the match. And Thiago Silva was absolutely awesome today at his full game. Coming on to Lewis Hall. And again, attackingly, this guy was very, very good. Remember, he's not your left wing back. He's not your left back. This guy is naturally a midfielder, but he's playing so well right now. And he's being played out of position. But this guy is so good to watch. I still have a lot of patience with Cucurella. He's a new signing. And I don't want to be angry upon him. I think Cucurella is a good player who's having a bad time. But Lewis Hall, attackingly, is much better than Cucurella will be. And Lewis Hall overall was so good to watch today. The way he ran, some of the crosses he put in the box, his overall threat that really stretched Crystal Palace. He's a very good young talent that Chelsea need to nurture properly. We have been known to destroy players, and I hope this guy is not one of them. A good talent, a good young talent. One of the positives for this season for Chelsea. A very good young guy, naturally a midfielder who can play as left back, who can play as left wing back. You can even play him as wingers. The only weakness is the finishing. But remember, he's 18-year-old. His finishing will improve. He's a young guy. Overall, the way he's playing, his other attributes, his passing of the ball, his running with the ball, his desire on the pitch, his tenacity, his aggression, that is so good to see. Finishing will come at some point of time. Your thoughts for Mount? Did he impress you today? No, brother. Like, I love Mason. I have a lot of respect for Mason, but today Mason was one of our disappointing players today. I expect better for him, and I was disappointed by Mason today, brother. Very disappointed by Mason today. And here Son misses a chance. Son has missed a chance here. That should have been 1-1. And coming on to Jorginho. Jorginho was one of the disappointing factors today. I love Jorginho, as I told earlier in the video. I think Jorginho has been a good player for Chelsea, not a legend. He's been a good player for Chelsea. But one thing I will say with Jorginho again, he's easily bypassed by. Either he needs to play in a back three and needs N'Golo Kante to partner him, or he needs two tenacious midfielders who are going to track back, go forward, track back, and are going to be physical. Other than that, Jorginho cannot work. The problem today was that we had Gallagher and Mount in midfield who were very attacking, and Gallagher today literally ran the midfield. Gallagher saved us today, even if he's more of an attacking-minded midfielder, because Jorginho again was easily bypassed by, whether it was Olise, whether it was some other players, again Jorginho was bypassed by. The problem with Jorginho is Jorginho needs a lot of attacking and physical players in terms of the aggression, tenacity, and good ball playing to partner him. Like, he needs an N'Golo Kante. He needs more like a player who can run around the pitch, can protect him when he's on the transition, and needs players who are more physical. The problem with Jorginho is when he's up against 6-foot guys, 6'1" guys, he cannot compete with them. And when he's up against players who are quick, who dribble with the ball very quick, his pace is not enough to catch them. And this is why he needs an N'Golo Kante along with him, and he needs a back three along with him. Last year, when Chelsea won the Champions League, he had Rudiger at the back, who was very strong, very pacey. So whenever Jorginho used to be caught out, Rudiger and Kante were able to protect him. Right now, with Chelsea, we play 4 at the back, and N'Golo Kante is no more there right now. He's injured, and we cannot save Jorginho. I love Jorginho. I think he's been a good player for Chelsea, but has a natural DM. He's not good enough for Chelsea. Has a natural DM. He's not quick enough on the transition. He's not good enough, quick enough to really catch up on a player that goes past him. You can be a 5'6" player, have a good pace in you, and you go and bypass Jorginho. You could be a 6-foot player and you can physically win a battle against him. This is where you need a system to help Jorginho. Jorginho is a very good player who can play well for Manchester City. He's a very good player who can play well for a team like Napoli. He can play well for Juventus, but he just cannot work for Chelsea. You need to have players like Bruno Guimaraes and N'Golo Kante to help Jorginho work in your system, and a centre back which is pacey and a centre back that is physically good. Right now with Chelsea, we have a young centre back in Badiashile. N'Golo Kante is injured and has a DM. We cannot protect Jorginho in transitions, and this is why I think we need to find a new DM in the summer, and along with another midfielder like Enzo Fernandez. We need a Rice and we need Enzo. That is the thing we need in the window. But overall, I do love Jorginho and always respect him. If you get Caicedo and Rice, you will be happy. I will be fully happy. But I think Caicedo is a very different player than Enzo. But having Rice along with him will be a good one. We can have a good midfield of Rice, Caicedo, and then Mason can play his number 8 role. And 4-3-3 at Chelsea will look very, very fluid with Mudryk, with your Nkunku, with Felix. That will be a dream team next season, man. That will be a fantastic team. And coming on to the next one, that is Conor Gallagher. And Conor Gallagher for me deserves an 8 today. He ran his socks off. He gets a lot of criticism, which I understand. People call him that he's not creative enough. He just runs around. But today, Conor was very, very good with the ball. Conor was very, very good overall with his pressing. He was very good in his defensive runs. He literally ran the midfield. He really kept track of the Crystal Palace players. And today, Conor was just fantastic today. Conor was very good today. Yes, when he deserves his criticism, you criticize him. When he's not playing well, fairly criticize him. But Conor today was fantastic. He ran his socks off for the Chelsea shirt today, and I have nothing but respect for him. Today, he ran his socks off. He ran the midfield and was a big part why Chelsea did not concede a goal today. Attackingly, Conor was very good. He won a lot of corner kicks for Chelsea. He was very good today, Conor. And this is what Chelsea needed in midfield. A bit of energy, a bit of the tenacity, a bit of the aggression, and Conor brought that. To be honest, we don't need Enzo if we get Rice and Caicedo. I do understand your point, brother, but I think Enzo is a better player than Caicedo. For me, I think Enzo is a more better player than Caicedo. But I do understand your point. They signed Enzo and Caicedo for 120 million and then spend the other money on some other players. So I do understand your point, brother. But I will love Enzo a lot more than Caicedo. But Caicedo is also a fantastic player. But right now, on Conor Gallagher, well done to him. That was a good performance. And he really showed today that he should be getting some chances. He has got his fair share of criticism. He should be doing better. But today was one of the better displays for Conor Gallagher. Coming on to Mason Mount, and he was, and sad to say, was one of the disappointing aspects today. I love Mason. I've told on this channel, I think this guy has a lot of talent. But today, Mason was very, very disappointing today. Attackingly, he did not offer much, which we expect much. Like Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge, the crowd is up for it. You expect Mason to be at his top of his game, but he just wasn't. And it looks like it's to do with playing too many games, with lack of confidence, which I can understand. And this is why I think Mason should be given a bit of rest to get a bit of energy levels up. And he also should be given a bit of pat on the shoulder and a bit of backing. He's just lacking confidence. I trust Mason Mount, and I know Mason will be back very quick. So I know he's having a tough time, but I know Mason will be back. But today, overall, Mason was a bit disappointing today. We cannot take away from that. Coming on to Chukwuemeka, and again, I think Chukwuemeka did not do anything wrong. He was just anonymous, which is understandable. He's not your proper winger. He's a player that needs to be played a bit narrow to the attacker. He needs to be a bit near the striker. So it's understandable he did not have a very good display. He's a young guy. He's a young talent into the team, playing Premier League football, not too much. So he needs to be given time. And that was a fine display. Nothing bad, but there was nothing special. So he, for me, deserves a 6 today. Going on to the next player, that is Hakim Ziyech. And what a display today by Hakim Ziyech. That is a Hakim Ziyech Chelsea sign from Ajax. He was a magician today on the pitch. Absolute magician today. When he had the ball, you know something was going to happen. Curled around, crossed into the box. Beautiful. Kai Havertz should have scored today, and Ziyech should have had an assist. Ziyech was fantastic today. He was fabulous today, and he was just fantastic today. I have a lot of respect for Hakim Ziyech. He gets his fair due of criticism from me. I still think for me, Arsenal with the bar. Wow, that would have been 2-0. Arsenal are all over Tottenham, man. They are fully destroying Tottenham. But coming on to Hakim Ziyech, I'm sorry for the people. Hakim Ziyech was awesome today. An absolute magician on the pitch. The way he had the ball, the way he curled around, some of the crosses he put into the box. If Chelsea had a proper number 9, I mean a proper striker, he would have at least had 2 assists today. He was fantastic. Some of the trickery was fantastic. His overall passion, his tenacity, the way he fought for the shirt today was good to see. Hakim Ziyech is criticized for being a bit lazy and that all, but today we saw the Morocco's Hakim Ziyech. Today we saw the Morocco's Hakim Ziyech, and he was fantastic. For me, still I believe that Hakim Ziyech to work in the Premier League for Chelsea, he needs a proper number 9. Hakim Ziyech cannot work in a team like Chelsea if he doesn't have a proper number 9. With a player like Nkunku coming up, we can say he could be very good for us next season. But again, I will say one thing. I still believe Hakim Ziyech is not fully good for Premier League. Hakim Ziyech is a fantastic player in the cup competitions. He's a fantastic player in the Champions League. And he's a fantastic player in the more slower league. And I think Hakim Ziyech can still be very good for Chelsea from a bench role if we have a proper number 9, like you can say Nkunku's, or even somebody you can say like what you have Manchester United Haaland. He could be a very good option. But sadly at Chelsea, I think Hakim Ziyech doesn't want to be on the bench. And at Chelsea, we have lack of chances created. And without Reece James, without having a proper number 9, I still think Hakim Ziyech cannot fully operate or fully, you can say, explode at Chelsea. But today was one of better displays of Hakim Ziyech. And this is what I want to see from Hakim Ziyech. It's still just one display, so I won't over lyrics over it. But that is a Hakim Ziyech we signed for Ajax. And that is a Hakim Ziyech I fell in love for. And Ziyech would have got more assists had Vlahovic. I fully agree, brother. But we have to say one thing. He might have had Vlahovic, but again, Chelsea still don't have proper midfielders who can create. I think next season, with Felix, with Mudryk, with Nkunku, if Hakim Ziyech stays here, I think he could have a lot more assists and a lot more things. But I still believe he lacks a bit of the pace, a bit of the dominance, which doesn't allow him to be regular consistently in the Premier League. That is the only concern. But today, I'll only praise him. Fantastic display of Hakim Ziyech. This is the player that we signed. And this is the Hakim Ziyech we saw at Morocco. People watching it doesn't take much. Do hit on the like button and please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. A massive victory for us as well today. And we have to get Joao if he plays good. Definitely Enzo is one of my favorite, but not too much risk with the price. I do understand the point, brother. And coming on to the next one, that is Kai Havertz. People will say, what an idiot, he scored a goal, you're giving him a 6. I think he scored a goal, but he should have had a hat-trick today. And still, Kai needs to be more clinical. Hakim Ziyech gave him the ball, an absolutely beautiful ball on delivery. And Kai Havertz has to score that. There has to be no excuses for that. A proper striker puts that into the back of the net. And Kai should be doing better, people. Kai has to finish that. I am one of Kai's lover. I am one of his Kai's advocate on this channel. But I do say that I'm only going to give him these 6 months. And if it doesn't improve, then we need to have serious conversations. But right now, I'm happy to see him score. And I hope this is a more consistent run of Kai having more confidence. People watching again, I'll request you, it doesn't take much. Do hit on the like button and subscribe to the channel. It won't take much. And even if you won't, do participate in the chat and let's have a good Chelsea talks today. And now, coming on to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he came on substitute. And to be honest, he had no time. Till summer stay by about Kai Havertz, brother. Please do let me know you're saying about Kai Havertz. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang today, I think he had nothing much to do. He came on a bit late. So I'll give him a 6, but I do hope he starts the next game. He is a number 9. I think Oba should leave, but I think for me, Pudin, brother, I think Aubameyang still, if he's in a right attitude, can still be useful for us at the end part of the season and can still score goals. With Mudryk coming up at Chelsea, with Felix, and Pudin, brother, I still think Kai Havertz for me is a number 10. I know Kai Havertz does not make good passes. I know Kai Havertz sometimes misses his runner. But Kai Havertz, if we want Kai Havertz to work at Chelsea, Kai is your number 10. At Bayer Leverkusen, he used to be a false 9. And overall, Kai Havertz is still a player that loves to work behind the striker. And this is why for me, with Felix, with Mudryk, I think we need a number 9. And I still think if Aubameyang corrects his attitude, he could be useful for us at the end of the season. So I won't say leave, but it does need to improve, brother. He does need to improve. And till summer, Ziyech, Pulisic, Kai, I fully agree. They have the time till summer and then we have to take decisions. But Pulisic is already out for 2 months. So I think his season is sadly over. But I do think there's a good player in Pulisic. I think he's very, very talented. He's a young guy. But with Mudryk coming, with Nkunku coming, with Felix coming, some people will have to leave. And it will be better for Pulisic to go elsewhere, play more regular. And it will be better for Chelsea to just let go. Pulisic is not getting first team football. Chelsea are not enjoying his performances. It's better to let him go somewhere and you bring some other player. But I still think there's a lot of talent in Pulisic, a lot of talent. And coming on to Koulibaly, and he came on, had nothing much to do. But they were a bit of disappointing aspect, which I think he could do better off. And today, Badiashile showed everyone why we need a centre back still in Koulibaly, why Koulibaly has been so atrocious for us. Badiashile today in just one appearance was better than Koulibaly's whole season. That's how bad Koulibaly has been, who I immensely respect this whole season. Coming on to Mateo Kovacic, and Mateo was came on very late, so we cannot judge him. He came on like on 83rd minute, 84th minute, so we cannot judge him on that. And Cesar the same. And coming on to the manager, Graham Potter today, I think Graham had a fine game. He made some good changes today, playing Badiashile, having the guts to drop Koulibaly. Well done, Graham Potter. Well done, Graham Potter. Bringing the substitute at the right time. I think that is good to see as well. Playing the team in a good way and overall backing the players and even dropping Kovacic, who has not been performing well. Well done to Graham Potter. Badiashile needs time to boost his confidence. Fully agreed, brother. And Graham, for me, deserves a 7. We still have beaten an out-of-form Crystal Palace side, so I cannot give him a 10 for this. But overall, that was a good display and a much-needed win for the Gaffer in this match. And today we looked as a team, fully agreed, and the manager deserves a credit for that. And people who are watching, it doesn't take much. Do hit the like button so more people can join. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It will mean a lot to me, people. A lot to me. Please do it, people. And just coming on the last some discussion today on the video. So we all know a big Northern derby is going on. And Arsenal right now are beating Tottenham, which is in our favor. But Arsenal winning the league, as a Chelsea fan, man, that is hard to take. That is very, very hard to take. As a Chelsea fan, to see them win, that hurts. That hurts. And now, coming on to a bit of topics to discuss, we'll end it quickly. Kai needed that. I'm very, very happy for Kai today. He needed that. I hope he builds his confidence. He's a better player than he has played for Chelsea, but the patience is running thin, and at some point, the right questions will need to be asked of Kai Havertz. Coming on to the next one, the next topic, Graham Potter needed that win and needed badly. The gaffer so far at Chelsea has not had a very good time. He has been a bit frustrated. The fans have not been happy. The results have not been coming. Injury crisis have been so bad, and dropping points to Crystal Palace after dropping points to London rivals Arsenal at Stamford Bridge would have been a disaster. So that is a much needed win for the manager, and I hope that calms a bit of pressure. The manager feels a bit more at home and happy, and that transform a change, because we can take advantage of Liverpool being very bad right now. We have a good chance of beating them at Anfield with the injury crisis they've got. And it's more important for us to win. Doesn't matter who won the league. Fully agreed, brother. But it does hurt, brother. It does hurt as well to see Arsenal win the league as well. But I do understand the point. And coming on to Mudryk. Mudryk is officially a Chelsea player. We have hijacked Arsenal move. We have hijacked their move for Felix. No disrespect here to Arsenal fans. But Mudryk is our player. He bleeds blue. And a big signing. For me, a lot of people have been angry in terms of the price and everything. Why we did not sign Enzo? The thing is, Mudryk fixed price is less than Enzo. Enzo was going to cost us 120 million. This guy fixed amount cost us 60 million, which again, nobody knows that fixed amount could be in installments, that fixed amount could be in particular departments. So this is why it's a good signing by Chelsea. And yes, I do not expect immediate result. Mudryk will not get us top 4. But what Mudryk can do for us, honestly, is Mudryk can become a threat to this team. Chelsea, since Werner has gone, and since we used to have players like Eden Hazard, I think people will laugh at me. Timo Werner was an awful finisher, but Timo Werner had a threatening pace which defenders used to be afraid of. Now we have a player who can dribble. Now we have a player who has pace, power, who has a bit of a dribbling skill, and overall a fantastic footballer with quick pace. That is going to scare defenders, which will leave more spaces for Felix, more spaces for Havertz, more spaces for Mount, and he could be a very good signing for the future. And do understand, he has been signed on an 8-year contract. Coming on to the next one, Kepa today. Again, I don't like his claiming on the crosses. That is atrocious. But overall, that was a good display by Kepa, and he made some very important saves as well. Is surprised at how Potter convincing players, Tuchel is able to get his own players. I think for me, brother Putin, to be very honest, I think Graham Potter has not to do a lot of convincing. This is being done by Weiwell and Vic Stanley, the new recruitment department. And we cannot blame Thomas Tuchel for that. These are the works should be done by the recruitment department. And this is where the previous ownership was a bit disappointing. And in the summer, Todd Boehly had no time to appoint a recruitment staff. Now we are seeing benefits of having a sporting director like a Weiwell and along with him, with Stanley. That is a benefit we are seeing. And the new ownership are very quick. When they need a player, they get it, which is also very good to see. Rivals, you were saying Chelsea was finished. We are here and we are here to stay. Coming on to Badiashile and Silva, that is a proper centre back partnership we've needed for a long time. Good displays by both of them. Badiashile worked well under a mental like Thiago Silva, and that was a very good display by Badiashile. Young, tall guy we've needed for a long time, formidable on the ball, and I'm very proud of his performance. He still needs to improve. I know his first appearance, but I think there's a lot of talent in this guy. Today we have seen he has a lot of building blocks which can be built by Graham Potter in this 6 months. And next year, we could have a very good player on our hands. And Hakim Ziyech was absolutely awesome today. And on that note, people, please who are watching, it doesn't take much. Do hit on the like button and please subscribe to the channel. And even if you don't, Chelsea have won up the Blues. I'm very happy today. It's time to build some confidence. Negativity has been there. And Arsenal, let's go there second. Is Odegaard and it's Tottenham nil, Arsenal 2, Tottenham getting smashed. But coming on to Chelsea, the times might be tough, but I know the future will be better. And thank you everyone for watching. Hope you subscribe and like. Even if you don't, I wish you a good day. Up the Blues, up the Chelsea. And thank you so much everyone for joining. Respect to you all.